Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things going on tonight as the build up to Homecoming continues in January. A very interesting show, I should say, with Impact this week. Kicking it off with another Ultimate X qualifying match, or I believe this is the first qualifying matches now. We kicked it off with Jake Chris versus the Mac. Excuse me, an Ultimate X qualifying match. Pretty much a really good opener, I will say that. Actually, a really good opener, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's as great as last week's opening match, the tag one, but kicking off with the Mac and Jake Chris was a very different match, I will say that, but they did, I'll say, mesh well together and put on a really good match. Of course, OVE was out there, so they did get involved. Callahan and Dave Chris, pretty much with the distraction, Jake hit that cutter in the air, almost like a super RKO, pretty much beating the Mac, advancing into the Ultimate X match. I believe since it's an Ultimate X match, I'm not sure if it's for the title now, because since Cage has, cashed in on option C, I guess now they are going to make it an Ultimate X match for the vacant X Division title. I will say it was a good win, I will say, for OVE, because they barely win any matches and almost get kind of squashed by a lot of guys. They are great heels, especially Callahan, but they tend to lose a lot. But yeah, Jake kind of moving on to the Ultimate X match is pretty good, I will say that. That does fit it up his alley. I don't feel like I've seen them. Somebody said this before, like the Mac loses a lot of his matches now ever since he has debuted in the company and stuff. I don't know why, unless this is leading into somewhere with the Mac. But a really good opener. Jake moving on into the X Division match. What else do we have tonight? Tessa Blanchard was pretty much, I believe, in the dressing room talking about Taya as she just complains and everything and makes excuses to why she is not the Knockouts champion, and that she's just nothing but Johnny Impact's wife. But tonight, she was going to beat Taya in a tag match, but she needed a partner, so she brought in Moose. Moose pretty much was sitting there, pretty much saying, he just ate an amazing five-star steakhouse with Tessa, and that she's a third-generation diamond. He would give her the world, but tonight he's going to give her a win as they both go against Johnny Impact and I guess what Moose said, his skeezy wife Taya, and they would know the legend of Moose. So that was pretty funny. Next, they went to Dark Alley and Su Yung, which I believe she had some new music coming out there with a different Titantron with the bunny logo on it, but more darker. They continued to say she was Soulless Alley, I believe, which, I've seen people on the internet really hate this gimmick and stuff, and this whole, undead realm thing. Like I said before, I haven't really had a problem with it since Bound for Glory. I just wanted to make sure it made sense, because I've said it before, if Lucha Underground and Hardys can get away with all this supernatural, using dark powers, and especially Lucha Underground can get away with that, then, they can too. I will say that. Even though, I will say Luchas, at least someone makes sense sometimes, but then again, it can be silly at sometimes too, how they pretty much Mortal Kombat people on that show. But Dark Alley went against Heather Monroe. Dark Alley got the win and was going to use that, bloody glove thing and stuff and use it on her. But pretty much after that, Kiera Hogan came out for the save. Kiera broke it up, but Alley would not listen to her, and Cass said she needs to mind her own business. Pretty much then Alley had took down Kiera Hogan and then she started beating her up, hitting her with a code breaker, and pretty much leaving her on the ground. I'm sure this is going to lead into some match or wherever this is going, since, she has sold her soul to Su Yung and James Mitchell. Does anybody know what happened to Rosemary, might I ask? I don't know if Rosemary is still hurt. I think she's still hurt, because the last time we saw her was at Bound for Glory, because Rosemary has not been seen a while on this show. So I don't know what her injury is right now or when she's coming back to the company, because the last time anyone seen her was Bound for Glory. They then went to Rich Swann and the Mac, pretty much in the back, as Mac was pretty much pissed about OVE getting involved. And Swan ended up telling him to calm down. Said, we ain't them. We're not going to go down that path. But Mac wanted revenge and everything. And Swan said, Sammy, they known for being crazy and stuff. But he didn't want to go down that pathway. But Mac says, how about next week? They're going to pull that trick with you. So I'm going to be in your corner next week, since he knows OVE is going to be Dave Chris versus Rich Swann. But Mac said he was going to watch his back next week. Swann pretty much told him to chill out after that. But, he said, I'll chill when I get my hands on OVE. So Mac, wanted to go at OVE after what happened, but Swann telling him to calm down. Could one of these two be turning heel? I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens, but it is interesting and a good hook for next week's show. Gama Singh, of course, born promo. The Desi Hit Squad, Rahit Raju and Raj Singh, the newer one. I believe they're winning some jobbers. I guess giving them a squash win, which wasn't bad. I'm still not really behind this tag team because they have not really done anything, but they've got a new guy now and they've done a little bit better, but they've pretty much been kind of made to look like goofs half the time, especially Rahit Raju coming up out of nowhere. Just look at the Thanksgiving episode and how they acted on there. And with Scarlett Bordeaux, they want to make these guys serious. They got to stop putting them in comedy segments if they want this Desi Hit Squad thing to be over, because it hasn't really moved on to anything, honestly. It's done nothing. It really has. It's just kind of been there. They haven't moved on or done anything else from that. What else did they have? I guess Ethan Page is going to go against Matt Sydal tonight, as Page told Sydal to get ready. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Katarina, as this is 2 losses in a row. She's lost to Jordan Grace, but now Katrina says that she's going to get Jordan Grace, because look what happened to Grado and Joe Hendry. They disappeared. What did happen to those two, to be honest? I haven't seen them since the Mexico tapings they've been gone? Yeah, we have not seen those two in a very long time. But Katarina had a new friend. Her name was Ruby Reyes, I believe. I don't really know anything about her, but we'll see what happens next week with Ruby Reyes. But I don't know anything. I really don't know nothing about this girl. Probably off the indie scene, but we'll see what goes next week when she goes against Jordan Grace. Of course, they went to the GWN network. Of course, we got to explain Option C. Option C and stuff. So it was pretty much when Chris Sabin won the world title from Bully Ray, and I just I remember that match being very bad, and Sabin's title run did not really last a long time. And I believe if I remember, I swear it was like a month later, they put the belt back on Bully Ray because of the ratings were going down low on Spike TV, because nobody didn't really believe in Chris Sabin as the world champion, if I remember. But other than that, they then went to Mackenzie Mitchell, who I guess standing in front of Impact Office Management, and Eli Drake came out. I guess the card said next week, saying that it was a challenge for Abyss at another Monsters Balls match at Homecoming, which these Monsters Ball matches have not really gone anywhere special nowadays. And of course, you're gonna have to throw Abyss in there just because. It's almost like what he's gonna do. Like, you've seen one, you've seen them all, but I know how his matches work, especially when the Tax or Janice come in. That someone's gonna dodge the thing, the big weapon, and just take it and hit Abyss, and they'll win. I think Eli Drake doesn't need to be in this. I was hoping to be something different from that, but of course it'd be Abyss. They then went to the Rascals, as they were sitting around in a circle with weed or something, since their gimmick is that they're high and stuff, like it was that 70s show. Scarlett Bordeaux then joined in as they said what's up, and one of them started spraying like lube on themselves or baby oil for some reason when Scarlett was there. But Scarlett says, I saw your debut last week, and she was interested, I guess, and impressed, and then left after that. I will say one thing about Scarlett Bordeaux, and this has been going on for a minute now, but is anyone going to win this talent search? I'm assuming she'll get this thing done by Homecoming. I thought it would have been done by Bound for Glory, but she's been on this whole talent search for a while now with, just going around to multiple people and even fans on the internet making videos and stuff saying why she should, manage them and give her 100% attention and stuff. So I don't know. It's like every week now she'll pop out of nowhere, do her smoke thing because it's a smoke show, and she'll say, "Oh, I'm interested" or something, and then she'll disappear after that because it's like every week. When's it gonna be the time when she actually picks a winner or something? Like when is she gonna pick the person to, I don't know, to manage? I guess because she's just been scouring talent, but nothing has came up after this yet. So I don't know where this is going. Matt Sydal went against Ethan Page. This was a good match. I will say that. I'm surprised it went on this long. Ethan Page was able to get up the win after pretty much hitting a roll. It was reverse roll ups then, which they pretty much then shook hands after that. So Ethan Page was going into the X division. Ultimate X match at Homecoming and stuff. So it wasn't bad, but I don't think any of these two got any type of heat right now. And Sydal's gimmick is not over, I guess. They then went to the Shady Acres as Eddie Edwards was still in a crazy hospital, which next thing you know, Raven is there for some reason. So we get to see the return of Raven on TV. I'm like, why is Raven even here? And he's talking to Eddie, and so I voluntarily check myself in here and say, "Oh, don't worry, man. They'll put you back on the drugs so you go back into a comatose and stuff." And Eddie says he doesn't belong here, and his wife forced him to be here. As Raven says, "Hey, listen, man, I fought Dreamer his whole career over his wife, and I took, I guess you couldn't say Sandman on TV, but Sandman's kid from him and stuff, and go back to that feud." So Raven is there, and then, next thing you know, use some crazy guy as a distraction so he could steal some key card or something to give to Eddie Edwards, and, he say old Raven won, and Raven says, "You do." So I guess we're going to see Raven again sooner or later into this. I don't know why Raven is here, but we will see more Raven. That actually surprised me because I did not really expect him to show up in Impact nowadays. That's something you didn't really see coming. Like Raven showing up, I don't know where that came from. But it was a surprise to see him. LAX and Pentagon Jr. and Conan and Phoenix were in the back. As Conan says, listen, we're on the same page. Let's get along. Listen, I've already told you guys that stuff happened with Mysterio and Hoovy and OGs and all the issues. And even he brought up Cain Velasquez and Daniel Bryan don't want to fight. And Daniel Cormier don't want to fight each other because they're from the camp. So we're going to have a great match. I know you guys can get tempered because once the Super Kicks and the package power drops come out, man, it's going to be a problem here. So you want a good, clean fight at Homecoming, okay? It's not going to be any type of problems, right? And everything all agreed. I believe Pentagon said in Spanish, he just wants to prove that he's the best in the world, as Phoenix said in Spanish also, which I actually could translate that and understand and say they want to become prove they're the best tag team in the history of Impact Wrestling. And, everyone agreed. We're going to have a great match. It's going to be badass and everything. Yes, we're going to do Man Asylum. We're all good with each other. But then next thing you know, Pentagon Jr. did his Sierra Medio thing in Santana's face. And it tensions got to start to rise. But Conan started yelling in. So this is what it's talking about. This is not, I did not want and stuff. Okay, he didn't want this. And he walked off pissed. And Ortiz said, "Man, you're always getting us in trouble." So Conan being the worried person because he wants to keep all the teams together. Like he's seen this thing before of how even his own team members, they said, have dissolved and stuff. So Conan, this is probably one of the best stories they got on right now because Conan using a lot of history and bringing a lot of development, even stuff from the past. Because like he said before, he talked about what happened in AAA with Hoovy and Mysterio, and he talked about how LAX is breaking up, and you can go back all the way. You can go back to an earlier TNA. Some say with Three Live Crew, or maybe the Filthy Animals Conan was in, or Wolfpack, or regular NWO. So it's good. He's using a lot of history to bring into the current state right now, and he's worried that he doesn't want the current LAX to break up, or the other people he's managing in MLW between Phoenix and Pentagon and stuff. He did not want this match to go down like that because he treats them all like they're his family. So this story proves continue to be more and more interesting. Next thing you know, they went to Johnny Impact and Taya as they talked about Moose and Tessa Blanchard as they were going to take them out tonight. That's going to be a tasty kick or something, and that they're gonna kick Tessa so hard in the face that Tully will feel it and stuff. I'm surprised the Giant didn't say turd cutter or something than that, because his promos can be really weird at the time. or just funny. Next thing you know, main event tag team match, Impact and Taya versus Moose and Tessa. One thing I thought was funny was Moose trying to kiss Tessa. I guess it's good luck when he went to the tag and kept holding on to her like he was trying to grab her ass at the same time. And Tessa was like, get off me, alright? Stop doing it and focus on the match. This was not a bad match, I will say that. Taya pretty much picked up the win with her submission, her new submission move up from there. But pretty much then after they were still in the ring, really great tag team match, I will say, in the end. But Moose pretty much came out of nowhere with a spear on Johnny then. Taya was still in the ring. Moose was going to do something, but Taya took her out and started punching her. She was going to hit her with a chair, but Killer Cross came out then. And it's for Tessa could whack her with the chair. Cross grabbed the chair then. And then started arguing with Moose and Tessa. Like, why would he yell Johnny for? Is he still trying to, do something? He's trying to do something with them. You know the whole Killer Cross and Johnny Impact story about why he wants him to join him or something from this. I'm still trying to get where he's trying to go. Like, is he going to turn on him? Like, because he says, I don't think you get it. All right, man? Like, you need me. Like, you need me and stuff. So, he kept going on from that. Next thing you know, Brian Cage comes out then. And he pretty much hits a German suplex on Moose and Killer Cross. Dude, he hit it on Killer Cross, and he freaking no-sold it, okay? Like, he hit a German suplex on him, and then Cross just fix up his tie and yells at him then, which was really cool then. But, Cage came out for the save then, and pretty much had to stare down with Johnny as they help tie up, because, Cage is still coming for that title at Homecoming, so they really are still building it. It's a lot going on in this story, I will say that, because of course you got the world title match between Impact and I'm gonna say Mundo and Cage, and then you got Killer Cross looming around, I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's just being very mysterious. Like, it's a certain mystique about him, just being in this dark, I don't know, just being a hitman or so. I don't even know what to say, but it's just something really going great. And I did like how he no-sold the German suplex and just fixed his tie and walked off, then letting this go on. But a pretty good episode of Impact, I will say that, for this week as they build into Homecoming coming in January. I am looking forward to it, so get ready for that. But like I said, the main event was great. I did like the LAX and Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix interaction, Ultimate X qualifying matches. Ultimate X qualifying matches. Let's see if there's anything else. Like, the Dark Alley thing was kind of whatever, I will say that. Of course, you had some other segments here and there from, the Rascals and other stuff. Swan and Max, see what they're going to do next week. But a pretty good episode of Impact this week again. So, it really was enjoyable, I will say that. But we'll see what happens next week on the show. I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about Impact Wrestling tonight, or from Thursday, or whatever you want to go with this, whatever date this video will be posted. But yes, I am out of here. So comment, subscribe. It's me, HWD, coming to do news reviews. I even know what I do. Staying intact, and now we're done with this review of Impact. I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.